Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're I haven't done this in so long. Let me try that again. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, how are you? If you are coming back, thank you so much for coming back. I just want to let you know that all of my socials are in the description. My Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, Redbubble, and Coffee if you would like to support this channel. Also, I'm trying to get to 10,000 subs, so if you would like to do that, hit that subscribe button, ring the notification, click the notifications, click the thing so you can get notifications. And as always, like, comment, subscribe if you would like to see more LGBTQ plus content from this space right here. So let's get into the video. So today I'm going to be reacting to Storm Ryan and Brennan Beckwith's podcast. Not the whole thing because it's a 37-minute long podcast. I was super surprised by this collab, honestly. I wasn't expecting it. I think most people in the trans community that has been active over the past couple years was kind of surprised by it. I think it's gonna be good. So let's get into it.
So a little background on this situation. If no one knows, Brennan was bullied offline in 2017 or 18 by Calvin Guerra, who Storm Ryan used to be really involved with. They made a lot of videos together. Didn't ever see this collab happening, but like in the trans mass community and like online trans sphere, I guess this is really interesting to me that they're friends now, and it just kind of goes to show how Ryan has actually put in the work, I hope. And yeah, it's funny to me how it's called BRENEMIES. I love it. It's such a good title. Let's take a look at this podcast, I think it is.
Anything about what's happened in the past few years in the online trans mask space?
There we go.
This might come as a shock to you.
It really was. It really fucking was a shock. Cause like, I would have never guessed that Brennan would have even remotely talked to Ryan. Ever.
I understand. I want you to know that our goal for the podcast,
They look really good
show,
though.
whatever you want to call it, is to help trans people. We want to heal from what happened in the past, and ultimately, we want to move forward.
Hell yeah.
We've been working behind the scenes for a long time to make this show
This is so cool.
for trans people as possible. We have thought about this a lot, which is why I want to sit down.
I love
and
this.
Just clear the air and get out in front of any pretty valid criticisms that I am anticipating.
Oh no.
First of all, this is not a for-profit show. Every cent that we make from this show, from AdSense to sponsorships to anything else, is going to go directly back to trans people.
That's amazing.
It's going to go to our crew,
Is that better?
all of which are trans. It's going to
Let
go
me
towards
know.
making the show better. It's going to go towards helping trans people pay for gender confirmation surgeries. It's going to go towards giveaways and towards my own top surgery. Everything we make on this show is going back to the community. We want to use the shock value of our friendship to do something good for the trans community, because for so long there was a rift between us.
Is that better? Okay. Sorry about that, you guys. I'm having issues today.
A rift between our sides, and now
Only slightly better? Here, let me.
we have healed from that rift and become friends after it. We just want to help you heal too. If you're not ready to
That's
see
so
Ryan,
sweet.
if you're still angry with him or hurt by him, I understand. And if you're not ready for this show, you don't have to watch it.
I'm literally so ready. Like, when I saw that they were working together, you guys, like, literally, I could not, like, I was shook.
I hope that one day you can heal and come back and see that we are doing the best we can to move forward from everything. If you are ready to heal and move forward, like Ryan and I are,
Aw.
I'd like to welcome you to our show,
Aw.
by trans people, for trans people.
Yes.
This is BRENEMIES.
Oh my gosh. This is so wholesome. I literally can't deal with this. This is giving me
Hey,
like
I'm Brennan.
I'm Ryan.
And this is BRENEMIES. Welcome to BRENEMIES.
Look at this
This is our
production value.
first episode. So, this is a podcast / web show by trans people for trans people.
We are people who are trans.
I'm a trans
Same.
mask. I use he, they pronouns.
Also me.
Yes.
Aw.
Ryan is the same way.
Ryan's pronouns are he, they. Character development. Did not know that.
We'd
happy
like to
you're
thank Cops
here.
Hate Mo for designing our. We have to thank them. Our logo came up with the name for the podcast and did the music for our little intro. And
This is
stuff
literally
like that.
just.
So
I have no
they are
even. I don't
basically
even
our
have reaction to
artistic
this
director.
because I
And
just am
they
so
deserve all the
enthralled,
praise. You
and
can
they're
find
both
them
so
at Cops Hate Mo
fucking
on
beautiful.
YouTube. And we'd also
I
like
love
to thank
this.
the rest of our team, like Charlie
Also-
and Nick. That are
What would y'all think if I had Brian's hair? I literally want that hair.
sitting right over there.
Like, I wish my hair
Hi,
did
guys.
this.
I try. And our editor.
And our editor,
Hey,
Alexander
JJ.
Jasper J. Yeah, everybody who's working on the show is also trans. We're going to talk about trans stuff
That's
now.
amazing.
Ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lil
I'm
Nas,
ready.
Lil
Lil
Nas X.
Nas X
He's pregnant.
is pregnant. Congratulations.
Oh my goodness. So Drake released his album Certified Lover Boy.
Yeah.
It kind of sucked. It's whatever.
But the cover-
we'll pop it on the screen, but it's all
Yeah.
the like pregnant lady emojis being like super diverse and like
Yeah,
Skin
but
color,
but
basically.
it's kind of just like it's not like super creative. The artist that made it was like super controversial and
Oh.
like whatever. But essentially, the reason we bring it up is that Lil Nas X posted a parody of that cover, and instead of women that were pregnant, it was men that were pregnant, right?
Yeah, because
Which
he
is
likes
perfectly
dudes,
fine. 'Cause he
likes dudes.
Because Drake's like, I'm a certified lover boy.
Yeah, and he's
I'm-
impregnating all of these women,
Oof.
and then
Nas is
like,
"Yup,
I'm impregnating all of these men."
dudes."
But what's interesting about it, and what's a little bit controversial, is that men can get pregnant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trans men can get pregnant, and
Yep.
trans men are pregnant, and
Yep.
And
want to get
transmasculine
pregnant.
people
And transmasculine
non-binary
people and non-binary people.
That's one of the things that, like, I feel like needs to get talked about a whole lot more within the community here. I'm gonna go to live chat. Is the fact that trans men and non-binary people and trans-mask people can, in fact, get pregnant. And it's something that I hate when people specifically are just like, you must be faking your gender because you want to get pregnant, or you have the ability to get pregnant, or you're not unhappy with the fact that you got pregnant. Like, there are trans men out there that want to get pregnant, and that's what they want to do, and that's perfectly fine, and people think it's okay to invalidate the fact that they're a man by being like, oh, you want to get pregnant, that doesn't mean you're actually a fucking, like, you're not actually a man. And it's bull. It's so dumb, because just because you have the ability to get pregnant doesn't mean that you're not your gender.
So Lil Nas X kind of poking fun at men that are pregnant is maybe poking fun at trans men. So then the next thing that he does is he comes out with this fake pregnancy belly, which is, we'll pop it up on screen.
He is pregnant.
He's pregnant.
He's pregnant with
very
little
pregnant.
baby Montero.
Which is his name.
Yeah, that is. Brennan recently found out that's his actual name, and he was like,
I think
"Oh
that's
my
brilliant.
gosh, his name's Montero."
What if his name was like Edward and he named his album Edward? It wouldn't have the same effect.
I think it would have the same effect.
Yeah,
That would have been
The
amazing.
controversy is that Lil Nas X pretending to be pregnant perhaps makes a mockery of trans men that do get pregnant
Yeah.
and are pregnant, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, so there's a few. So we decided to pull in a few statements from. First of all, Skylar who is a very popular trans guy on Instagram.
He's one of my homies.
But we'll just read like some of it and like
I
kind of
want to
go
go read
as
that.
well. I think this is the best statement. When Lil Nas X pretends to be pregnant, it's an online sensation and a great marketing ploy. But when trans men and other trans masculine folks are pregnant for real, we don't get laughs or money. We receive death threats and violence. We are mocked and discriminated against in medical spaces and more.
Literally, because they also, I would say most, if not all, medical professionals don't really know how to treat people on testosterone who do get pregnant.
Lil Nas X's portrayal of pregnancy as a cis man welcomes ignorance and hatred towards the trans masculine community specifically.
It does.
So that makes sense in my head. I think that
I understand what he's saying.
I know where he's coming from, and I definitely think that like Lil Nas X was not thinking about trans men.
Right.
I think most people, when doing this kind of thing, don't think about trans men or how it affects trans people.
It's just like, I think if Lil Nas X was a girl, he would have done the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Maybe just like, I'm announcing the
birth
like,
of,
you know, my baby, my album. I'm pregnant. Like, and he was like, what y'all bringing to the baby shower? Like, trying to get like internet like interaction.
Yeah, and the idea is that he's pregnant with his album that has been a long time coming and is pretty much his baby, right?
Right.
So I don't think that he was thinking about trans men at all. He wasn't thinking about how this would affect the trans community.
People normally don't.
You know, and and that's
literally what I just said. People normally don't think about the trans community at all when doing this kind of stuff.
And that's the sad thing, right? Is that even a queer artist that's supposed to be advocating for queer issues isn't thinking about trans men, isn't thinking about trans people at all.
I think that's another issue when it comes to queer artists in general, like cis queer artists. They are so focused on like their own issues and getting representation for themselves that they forget about all the other aspects of the community and don't really think about the other people within the community. Like for a while, a long time, it was just about getting like gay representation, which is amazing, and I'm happy that we do have a whole lot more gay representation. And then slowly lesbians trickled in there as well, which is great. Don't really have as much like bi representation as we should. We don't have any ace representation or pan representation. Still a lot of work to do, and for the longest time trans women were like villainized in media and that kind of stuff. So even by like cis queer people, because there's always that kind of pandering to cis people, almost being like, oh, I want to be as close to you as possible, so let me throw these other people under the bus. I'm not like them, like, you know what I mean? Which is what like that's how Ryan used to be, that's how Calvin, I'm gonna assume, still is, since he's been off the internet for like a year. Maybe he's done some soul searching, I don't know. But it's a lot of bootlicking in the cis community of the queer community, if that makes sense.
Another person that I reached out to is Spit, somebody who is a non-binary trans mask person who is pregnant right now. And
that's
they have
dope.
a great TikTok. We'll leave it linked in the description. I reached out for them.
I want to go look at their TikTok. Okay, I might do a reaction to their TikTok.
To them for a
video,
statement,
because that's
and
dope.
they said something different. They said, I honestly only saw like one picture of it, but I think it's hilarious. I personally like watching the conversation, or sorry. I personally like watching the conservative cis het squirm.
I like that they mess up reading too, because I do that, and it's like, yes, plus. I'm not the only person whose dyslexia messes up.
And as a musician, I think it's a really great marketing ploy for his album. As a whole, I think he is doing a great job drumming up a lot of attention.
He did.
I personally
drum up a
believe
whole bunch.
all publicity is good publicity, and honestly, I think he looks very cute, fake pregnant. So
Wow.
That's to say, not all trans men or trans masculine people who are pregnant or want to be pregnant feel the same way that that Sky.
Yeah, no, obviously people will feel different. Like I said, I had never really formed an opinion, so I wasn't super invested in it. I didn't think it was cute. I just thought that he was trying to do a marketing thing and just was forgetting a part of the community, which a lot of people do. So that was where I was coming from, and like I said, learning from people more and more and figuring out what their opinions are. Not bad to hear other people's opinions before coming to your own conclusion.
Tyler feels.
Right, there's a lot of different opinions.
There's a lot of different opinions out there, and I think every trans person is going to take this a little differently.
Yeah.
What was that one TikTok?
What?
The TikTok that we saw yesterday on your For You page from one of your mutuals. Who made
Oh yeah, Rose. Rose made a TikTok about it. We can cut to that if you want.
I love Lil Nas X so much. I really, really do. And like, his marketing is pure genius. Whoever is his marketing team, y'all are really doing the most, and I'm very proud of you. You're doing great. Kudos to you. But as a trans person, I have some thoughts. My very first thought, I'll be totally honest, I was like, wait, but can I be the father? Because, like, you know, he's hot. Whatever. Moving on. But is this, like, trans baiting? Like, what's the consensus? Like, I'm not a trans man. I can't get pregnant. That's never gonna happen, thankfully. You know what I mean? But, I don't know. Do trans men have thoughts? Because as a trans woman, I'm kind of iffy about this one.
But she's a trans woman who kind of said, like, kind of the same thing that Skylar was saying, that it's a little bit weird that he's acting pregnant as if it's like a crazy thing that men can get pregnant. And that's the idea, is that he's going off of the shock value of a man being pregnant as if men can't be pregnant, but they can.
Yep.
Right? So that's the whole story. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of like people with a lot of opinions, and we'll leave links to all of these opinions down below. The tweet.
Nas, he did kind of tweet. He tweeted yesterday. He said, "Pregnant women quote this tweet with your belly and Cash App name." You like to promote his album, and then underneath it, he did asterisk pregnant people.
Yeah, he said asterisk pregnant people, so he's learning.
Because
he's
it's
learning.
beautiful.
That's really all we can ask for at this moment.
Yeah, and I think, like, really, it ultimately just reveals that, like, queer artists, cis queer artists, like, aren't thinking about trans people.
They don't think about trans people! They really don't! They still have so much to learn. I mean, everyone in general, I'm sorry, let me situate myself. Everyone, also, look, it's a little sushi. I love. And I'm sorry, my camera keeps going in and out of focus. Hello? There we go. Yeah, they literally don't think about most people don't think about trans people because they don't have to. It's not something that they have to think about all the time, which, as someone who is trans and non-binary, it's something that I do think about. Not all of the time, but a lot of the time I think about how I'm being perceived and how I'm going through life, how I'm being misgendered every single day and how much it sucks, and it is consuming because it's my experience, but other people don't have the same experience I do. Cis queer artists really do have to be better because we're all part of the same community. We all need to be there to support each other and have each other's backs and just keep learning about the other identities within the community, because I mean, I'll say it, like, I don't know a whole bunch about, like, gay culture. Like, I don't know much about lesbian culture. I know a lot about, like, bi culture, and ace culture and non-binary culture, because that's who I am. Like, that's what I am familiar with. So I can understand why you would stop at just your perspective, but you also have to understand where other people are coming from, which is how we become a beautiful society. We have to I don't know where I'm going with this. This is not okay, but it's definitely something that I think needs to be talked about a whole lot more, that cis queer people need to at least try to educate themselves a little bit more about the trans community.
I understand.
Ah, I lost my place. You know what? I'm gonna stop it right there.
I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, let me know down below. Comment what you guys thought. I really enjoyed it. I love seeing them. I thought they were just adorable and had really great chemistry. And the fact that Ryan is doing the work that he needs to do to overcome his trans medicalism is amazing. So yeah, if you want to see more stuff like this, let me know. Also, you can catch me on stream on Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when I am there. So if you ever want to come say hi, please do. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!